Live.
Guys,
Here we go.
we're doing a better job of trying to hit at, one, it's 101, 102, so
That's
we're
right.
getting close.
We are. That's
Welcome to another Friday edition of Your Two Favorite
Real
Realtors
estate.
on the internet.
Well, let's just
On the internet. Who
Yeah, I like
knows?
it.
Yeah, man. I think we got on this one right here, which is mine. I think there
right.
are 0 people watching right now.
That's all right. It's
Which
okay.
is just
all right.
phenomenal because that means I can warm up,
Yeah.
tell my bad jokes on the front end.
That's right. I've got a couple of folks with us here.
Yeah.
I can't read sideways, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It really hurts.
This has been fun. I
John
will
Lim!
say, as Bryant's saying hello to some of his folks, it's been really cool. I've got some great feedback about just this. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if, I love doing this with you, but sometimes I'm like, should we keep doing it? Is it worth? But I had a buddy and who's kind of a real estate investor, also in the coffee world, and was like, man, love what you guys are doing on Friday. I checked in. He actually talked to our mortgage guy who was here last week, did a cash out refi on an investment property.
Cool.
And so that worked out in some way. But he was actually given props. He said, Love It Properties Marketing. And I was like, yeah, that's Bryant's wife, has been killing it for a hot minute. Actually,
Very
he's
true.
listening. He's on right now.
Be quiet. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I won't talk. No, I'm talking about him because he was giving props to us.
man.
TM Jones 4415. Thanks for, I won't say your full name in case you need some
Harry,
anonymity.
the hard eyes. Love you, bro.
Thanks for the encouragement. This evening we hit phase 2.
Phase 2.
Restaurants 50% capacity.
Yep.
Gyms and bars still no go.
Yeah.
But just being on the streets, clearly more people out there. There's more traffic, which I'm kind of personally bummed about because
I know. The
it
traffic
was
is-
great to be
I
able
know.
to not only
It's
me,
awesome.
one, just run on the streets, just like
Yeah.
just full throttle,
Yep.
but two, honestly, like it was nice at 5 o'clock to say, yeah, I can meet you at this place and know
Absolutely.
that it's going to take 15 minutes as
Oh, yeah.
opposed to that 45
yeah.
window you'd need.
Oh, yeah. So, like, those that are tuning in, John Lim, I know you're tuning in. I'm about to show you property. Like, it's nice to be able to, call your real estate agent and be like, hey, can you show this to me in the next 30 minutes, the next hour? And if it's anywhere near rush hour, what goes through our heads is nope.
No way.
That's
yeah,
not happening.
let's punt to
So,
7 p.m. or
exactly.
after.
Yep.
And now it's like 5:30. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's get over there.
At that
So,
moment.
Yeah.
So I think excited about what
Yeah.
that's going to mean.
Yeah.
Just for the economy at large, especially the service industry. We're excited to get folks back in.
Yep.
I know we've talked about this week in, week out. Real estate still it's a good time.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's insane.
it's insane,
It's insane.
and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We don't take that lightly. I know some people are, in a place where they aren't able to work, and there are furloughs, there are reduced hours.
Yes.
And so do not want to take that lightly at all.
Nope.
But yeah, Brian, I thought, so I know today let's talk list side, let's talk buy side, and let's
Yeah.
kind of talk just ups and downs in terms of what we're dealing with on a kind of personal front. So I'll let you kind of jump in.
Yeah.
Again, Bryant Lovett, team lead for Lovett Properties. Obviously, don't need to introduce you, but these are to the folks coming in. This is Bryant.
Sandy Roberts, guys.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Introduce me to your...
That's right. Sandy Roberts, guys. Huge influencer here at Lovett Properties. A big culture ad. Not to mention just
Culture ad, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good term.
Little culture ad.
That's a
like
huge.
it. Yeah.
That's a huge compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you. Culture ad.
And then, not to mention just a phenomenal real estate agent. So you're gonna have a busy weekend. I think you're gonna help me out with a couple things. And
I am. Yeah.
it's cool to be able to help each other out with
the team,
with the workload
the dream work of teamwork.
It's exactly right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, someone coined something like that.
Something like that.
But no,
I'm still in a
listening-
Jordan mindset. That's why.
That is why.
Well, I don't know if he valued the team, although in his later years he did. Because he needed them to win, which helped him
right.
win 6 championships. Anyhow, I digress. Hey, Brian, go ahead and just drive us down the listing alley.
Yeah.
What are we seeing at large, statistically, and even on a personal level?
Yeah. So statistically, here's a cool stat for you guys. As we've been approaching opening back up, showings have been on the rise steadily per week.
Okay.
This is the first week since COVID-19 where showings match where they were a year prior.
Okay.
The first week. So we've now somewhat reached a point of equilibrium on the showing front, which is pretty awesome.
Okay.
Showings up 11% week over week. So that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Homes listed down 22%. So talk about people like still being tentative of whether or not to list their property, whether or not to actually go active. And what that's caused is it's caused We've got low interest rates. They're down again. I
Yep.
think you might have said that earlier. They're down again, and that's caused kind of a frenzy. So therefore, that inventory has put a lot of activity on my listings, which is awesome. One of my listings over the weekend had over 10 offers presented.
Wow.
Well over asking price.
Wow.
At the end of the day that we were able to bring in for my sellers. So a phenomenal time to list a home.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and jump in. So there you go on the listing side. On the buy side, here's what we're dealing with. And again, so we have an inventory shortage, but we have some of the unprecedented, historic lows. Had to bring in those words. On the mortgage front.
Yeah.
And so it's a great time to buy. And I think we said last week we had Pat Price from Movement Mortgage who let us know that at this moment in that $350,000 price range and down, we are seeing multiple offers same weekend and low. I mean, going back to low inventory.
Yep.
So that's I mean, I guess it's just good to keep in mind. People have more purchasing power. Buyers do, but there's just less out. But hopefully, what your statistic just showed me is hopefully as we come out of this or come into phase two, heading into Memorial Day weekend, into kind of the official start of summer, that we will see more inventory coming available, especially in those price points, $350 and below, which again is kind of in that first-time starter market. So that's what I'm hoping. One stat I did want to bring just before that, I think I'd mentioned, WRAL posted that said, I mean, and part of this is COVID related, but of rent, Zillow did a survey, and I'm guessing at the national level, but we can extrapolate and take it local.
Oh, most definitely.
That of renters during kind of the height of COVID, 22% said in the next year, so that's almost 1 out of 4 renters said in the next year they plan to buy.
1 in 4.
That's. I mean, I don't even know what kind of statistic like that number is. But 1 in 4 surveyed from Zillow renters said they're looking to buy within the next year. So list your home because there's going to be a lot of people wanting to buy, and then buyers. I mean, obviously, like this goes to show that it's still like the economy is still at large, despite kind of being suppressed for a minute because of some of the COVID, is definitely trending up. And I mean, I think I don't know. I don't want to pull too much out, but I think it's a good time to make sure that financing is in check, and also that you're working with someone who can kind of help guide you through what it means to be in a multiple offer situation. So that's kind of my buy side kind of just gloss over.
Yes, the overview. I like it.
That's all I got.
I really like it. What about if you were to speak directly to a buyer right now with your number one tip that you would want to hit them with this week?
Ooh, this week?
Number one tip. You're like what you would advise.
Yeah.
Something you run into this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good. Oh, man. Okay, I think the first and foremost, I would say just make sure that you have talked to some sort of mortgage broker or bank, and make sure that you have a really good idea if you're ready to pull the trigger to buy, that they can close within a certain amount of period. So, like, I mean, right now the shortest one I have is a 23-day close, and that's with a mortgage broker. Okay. But a lot of banks, credit unions cannot do that, and that can impact the power or strength of an offer. So I would just get a real sense, especially depending on who you're looking to buy or finance through. How quickly can you close? I don't know. That's something to me. So that's something I would just talk to buyers about because again, more homes are coming on. I think there'll be more inventory. But if financially, like we need to be shored up, not only what a monthly mortgage payment's going to look like, that's kind of on a mortgage person to help, but just like we got to be able to, when we're writing the offer, it's a lot of times shorter the better. And we got to know. I don't know. That's kind of off the top.
Absolutely. I think, so both of our tips are going to kind of dovetail nicely.
Perfect.
Because when you're selling a home, a lot of times you're just looking at terms, right? You're looking at terms as being black and white. And there's some other gray things like an offer letter. That kind of brings the emotion into it. Who is the buyer that's coming to you? There's some motivation questions like, what's the motivation of the buyer that's coming to you? But on the lending front, the value of checking in or having your real estate agent check in with the lender servicing the buyer. Like,
that's a good question.
Are you barely making it on the credit score front? Like, if you're off one payment this month, are you no longer able to buy this house? Or like, Just get to know your purchaser in a little bit of a deeper way, because it does matter right now. A lot.
Can I just add, I was in a
Yeah.
CE class, and I just want to add one more thing to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
To your exact point,
Yeah.
one of the realtors on there, who happened to know, but was on this Zoom call,
Yeah.
made a great point. They said, make sure as a listing agent to check in, because a lot of times you see those pre-qualification, hopefully ideally it's a pre-approval letter,
Yep.
but letter somewhere in between potentially about how much research has been done.
Yes.
And they said, make sure to potentially reach out and ask, is there any contingencies to this financing?
Yes.
Because sometimes, that's not always clear.
Yes.
Like even to if they didn't check anything,
Yep.
maybe they can hold to, but just like following back
Yes.
with to say, hey, like, is there anything that they're pre-qualified for this, but is there anything that could make that change?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because that could impact
Yeah.
kind of bulletproofing, if
Yep.
you will, an offer from the
Yeah.
buy side, and you just doing your homework before you go ahead and maybe encourage your sellers, hey, this is a great offer.
Yes. Well, for those that don't know this, in January of this year, like super fresh, we no longer have a contingency addendum.
Right, and that's why.
Yeah. So like if you don't have a contingency addendum and they mark on that offer, no, we do not need to sell our house to qualify for the loan. Are you using your due diligence period as a period to get your home sold? And if you can't do it, you're going to bail from our contract?
Totally.
Right? It's a little semantical because technically nothing has changed. Due diligence operates the way. We'll have to have like more explanation
I know,
on due
there's so
diligence
much
on here.
more, I know,
So
I know.
good.
Yeah, we'll follow
do
back.
that. But I think that's to your point. Like, let's do a little bit more digging instead of just looking at the terms in black and white form, face value. Because it might be a higher purchase price. They might be bringing more due diligence to the table. They might be closing faster. But check in with the lender. Make sure that they don't have. Make sure they're not using the due diligence period to orchestrate all these other things that have to line up just perfectly.
Yep.
So doing your homework and making sure you're working with a real estate agent like Sandy Roberts, who is doing his homework for you. So that's huge.
That's awesome. Okay, so this is gonna be the last part of our show where we've called it the ups and downs, the thrills and spills, the excitements, the bummer.
Yes.
We're just trying. Yeah. What are you excited? What are you bummed about? What do you? Just
pumped about.
Yeah, pumped and bummed. There's just a
I like
lot of terms we could throw here. But
That's right.
Brian, you want to jump in, and then I'll follow back, and then we'll get out for today.
I like it.
Yeah.
Something I'm bummed about.
Yep.
Gyms weren't included. I just have to come back to that.
That's
Gyms were not included in the open. It's like, that gets to me. I know that there's I know some gym owners, and that was hard. That was hard to hear because they were really gearing up to open. They were excited. They were a part of the original phase 2, and they're no longer a part of the phase 2. So, and what am I pumped about? Sunshine. I am so
that's good.
Guys, I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, but I love gardening. I love plants, right? And so my plants are happy.
I see it.
That's right.
It's green.
It is.
Yeah, slightly. It's getting there. Okay.
But they're enjoying the sunshine.
Nice.
So I'm also pumped to have a couple listings go live this weekend with sunny, beautiful weather. Like, I'm so excited.
Memorial Day. Summer is upon us.
Right. Memorial Day weekend.
I would say for me, what I'm bummed about is it's kind of lighthearted. At some point, I'll get more serious. But the fact that The Last Dance is done. We had the final 2 episodes, 9 and 10 last week, so that's done. The fallout of all that is coming from what Scottie Pippen thought to Karl Malone.
Oh, dang.
And all sorts of stuff coming out of that Last Dance kind of fallout, but was riveting nonetheless, so bummed that that's done.
Yep.
What I'm excited about, I will say this much, getting a chance to kind of work and doing a little bit of rebranding. It's not it's just for the first time. Putting some thoughts to paperwork and working with actually a friend from church, Grace Casey, and her company, Morrow Design, to kind of maybe just do some things I think that will help solidify who I am within a brand and just kind of trying to be thoughtful. And so I'm working with her. She got me to fill out this worksheet. And so I'm planning to hopefully talk with her and kind of do a little bit, and we'll see what it looks like. It's going to be great because she's going to do it. Whether I can articulate what I want, that'll be the question mark. But
that's a good point.
Excited for this weekend. It is sunny. I hope everyone is looking forward to a great Memorial Day weekend. Please be safe if you go to the beach or whatever you end up doing. Please be safe this weekend, but enjoy the outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy time with friends, and please make sure to have some downtime.
That's right.
Where you get to rejuvenate. That's all.
Yeah,
I got.
Get a little rest. Harrison says that he's having a cheeseburger on his lunch break, and we're his milkshake.
This is your brother.
Yeah.
Harrison. Harrison, why you're not following me is a bummer.
I know.
We need to change that.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, only thing I got from, I'll just kind of end with this. One of my good friends, John Wolf, is with a team down in Charleston. A good buddy of mine ran with me NC State. And he just says, we feel it down here. Charleston has had 3 record-breaking weeks in a row for homes going under contract. Knowing this guy, I'm sure he probably put about a third of those under contract.
Good solid percentage.
I have no doubt. So, John, thanks for that update from South Carolina. But yeah, man.
Cool. Awesome.
Always a pleasure. Your 2 favorite realtors on the internet.
Right.
Our jingle's coming soon. Right, Allison?
That's right. I know. Man. Sometime soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate your time. Yep.